The story begins in 1942, the year after Nazi Germany invaded the Soviet Union during World War II. Red Army soldier Vasily Zaitsev is on a train heading to the besieged city of Stalingrad. As the train rattles forward, Vasily reflects on his childhood memories of his grandfather teaching him how to hunt with a rifle. The train is packed with hundreds of soldiers, as well as civilians. Among them is Tanya Chernova, a woman who catches Vasily's eye, but he's too shy to approach her. Before moving forward, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. It will help us keep bringing your favorite movie recaps. Partway through the journey, the civilians disembark, and the soldiers are taken straight into the chaos of the Battle of Stalingrad. To reach the front lines, they must cross a river by boat. However, as they do, German planes bombard them with bullets and bombs, killing many. In the panic, some soldiers try to jump into the water to escape, but their own officers shoot them for desertion. It's a horrifying scene of chaos and death. When the boats reach the docks, the grim reality sets in. Only half the soldiers are given rifles. The others receive just bullets and are ordered to follow the soldier in front of them who has a weapon. Without proper equipment, the soldiers are forced into a suicidal charge against the Germans, who quickly mow them down. Vasily, armed only with bullets, barely survives by lying on the ground and pretending to be dead. Around him, soldiers who attempt to retreat are mercilessly shot by their own commanders, branded as cowards and traitors. The battlefield is soon littered with lifeless bodies, silence hanging heavy in the air. That is, until a lone car suddenly appears, trying to navigate through the carnage. A tank shell crashes into the scene, flipping over a vehicle. Out crawls Commissar Danilov, who scrambles to hide in a fountain filled with corpses. He plays dead, blending into the pile of bodies as a group of German soldiers drives by, shooting into the mass to ensure no survivors remain. By sheer luck, Danilov escapes unharmed. Once the Germans leave, Danilov grabs a rifle from one of the fallen bodies and tries to shoot at enemy soldiers in a nearby building. But the rifle is empty, no bullets. At this critical moment, Danilov realizes he's not alone in the fountain. Vasily, another survivor, has been hiding there too. Vasily calmly explains that he has ammunition, but advises Danilov to wait for the sound of an explosion before firing to avoid detection. Danilov, being inexperienced with weapons, hands the rifle over to Vasily. As another car full of German soldiers approaches, Vasily moves to a strategic spot behind a hole in the fountain's wall. The moment he hears an explosion, he begins taking out the Germans one by one with incredible precision, hitting each target square in the head. Hours later, both men are rescued and taken back to headquarters. Impressed by Vasily's sharpshooting, Danilov writes a series of pamphlets glorifying his heroic actions. Days pass, and the situation in Stalingrad grows more desperate. Chairman Nikita Khrushchev arrives to oversee the city's defense. Stalingrad, being a symbol of Stalin's power, must not fall. Furious after learning of more losses, Khrushchev demands new ideas to boost morale. Most officers repeat the same tired tactics, but Danilov offers a bold suggestion. Instead of using fear and punishment, they should inspire hope. He proposes creating a hero to rally the people, someone to inspire them to protect their homeland. Danilov nominates Vasily for the role. The idea is approved, and Danilov is promoted to senior lieutenant. Vasily's story and face now grace the newspapers, portraying him as a national hero. He's promoted too, joining the sniper division as a symbol of hope for the city of Stalingrad. From that moment on, Vasily becomes the pride of the Russian army. He's hailed as a national hero and turned into a symbol of hope and propaganda. His remarkable feats are featured in every edition of the army's newspaper, and his name and image spread across the country on posters and pamphlets. One day, during a mission, Vasily and his team are discovered by a young boy named Sasha Filipov. Sasha idolizes Vasily and invites him to his modest home, where his mother, Mrs. Filipov, prepares a simple meal to thank him for his bravery and dedication to their homeland. Shortly after, Danilov, Vasily's comrade, shows up with letters from fans all over the country. To keep the propaganda machine running, Danilov insists Vasily respond to them, dictating the replies and even helping him with spelling. While they're working on the letters, Tanya, the girl Vasily met on the train, arrives. Tanya is like an older sister to Sasha and has joined the local militia as a private. She's also fluent in German, having studied it at university. Danilov wants to recruit her for intelligence work, as they desperately need soldiers who can understand German. Tanya, however, is determined to stay and fight on the front lines, especially since the militia is severely understaffed. But Danilov convinces her by explaining how valuable she would be in decoding German intel and promises to send reinforcements to the militia in exchange. Meanwhile, the German army is reeling from the devastating toll Vasily and his team of snipers are taking on their ranks. Desperate, they summon Major Erwin Koenig, a legendary German sniper, and the head of the sniper school in Zasen. Koenig is given one mission: eliminate Vasili. Instead of hunting him, Koenig devises a clever trap to lure Vasili to him. Hours later, Vasili is jolted awake from a nap by his team. There's trouble near the department store sector. Vasili spots a shadow in a window and fires, watching a helmet drop. Convinced he's hit the target, he takes his teammate Ludmila to confirm the kill. But as they leave, the comrade they've left behind is suddenly taken out by a sniper shot. The pair sneaks into the department store, carefully moving through the aisles until they spot the figure they thought was a sniper. But as they get closer, they realize it's just a mannequin, posed to look like a shooter. It's a trap. Vasili notices a cigarette butt on the floor and immediately understands the enemy is nearby, watching them. He suggests staying low and thinking through their escape plan. But as the sound of planes and bombings fills the air, Ludmila panics. Terrified, she runs, giving Koenig the perfect opening to shoot her. Vasili, however, narrowly escapes before Koenig can target him too. Koenig returns to his hideout, where a young boy, Sasha, polishes his boots. Sasha plays innocent, but in reality, he's feeding Koenig information about Vasili in exchange for food, earning the sniper's trust to gather more intel. When the Red Army discovers Koenig is hunting their men, they bring in Kulikov, one of Koenig's former students, to train Vasili on how to outthink and kill him. Before heading back to the battlefield, Vasili is invited to a special party in his honor. After greeting Tanya, he's dragged by Khrushchev to meet journalists, take pictures, and stand under a massive painting of Stalin, reminding everyone that Stalin is always watching. The painting sparks a memory in Vasili, his grandfather teaching him to shoot. His first attempt failed, and it cost them their horse to a hungry wolf. Days later, Vasili, Kulikov, and another sniper, Volodya, carefully enter an abandoned building where Koenig might be hiding. They find a body posed in a sniper position, just like the last trap. It's a sign they're on the right track. Moving cautiously, they cross an open area, dodging bullets by sheer luck, and even manage to shoot 2 enemy repairmen. But as they prepare to eat, Volodya steps away to grab the soup he'd left heating in another room. On his way, he's captured, leaving the team one man down and in even greater danger. Koenig and his team want Volodya to reveal where Vasili is hiding. When Volodya refuses to talk, they disguise him as one of their own men and send him out, pretending he's just another repair guy. Unaware of who it really is, Kulikov shoots him on sight, exposing their location on purpose. To draw the enemy out, Kulikov places a helmet in the window, hoping Koenig's men will shoot and give away their position. But Koenig isn't fooled. Realizing their trap has failed, Vasili and Kulikov decide to move to a new location. While crossing an exposed section of the floor, Koenig seizes the opportunity and shoots Kulikov, killing him. Vasili narrowly escapes. The cat-and-mouse game between Vasili and Koenig drags on, testing everyone's patience. Even Khrushchev is frustrated and begins pressuring Danilov for results. After a tense meeting, Danilov visits Tanya, bringing her a gift to win her over. But she surprises him by requesting a reassignment. Later, Vasili returns to headquarters in low spirits. He admits that Koenig's skill as a sniper might be too much for him to handle. Danilov reassures him, saying they'll gather more intelligence, and next time, Vasili will outsmart Koenig. However, Danilov asks for a favor in return. He wants Vasili to convince Tanya not to leave. When Vasili speaks to Tanya, she reveals the heartbreaking reason for her transfer request. She just learned that her parents were executed by the Germans. Driven by a desire for revenge, she wants to fight on the front lines. Understanding her pain, Vasili gives her Kulikov's rifle as a gesture of support. Soon after, Sasha provides valuable information to both Vasili and Koenig. Each heads to the same abandoned building, each believing they'll have the upper hand in surprising the other. The stage is set for another deadly showdown. Koenig waits on a raised platform while Vasili and his sniper partner sneak into the area, hiding behind some pipes. The pipes shake as they move, tipping Koenig off to their location. As soon as they try to advance, Koenig fires, injuring Vasili's partner and causing Vasili to drop his rifle. Realizing his partner is in no shape to continue, Vasili sends him back to headquarters. Left alone, Vasili devises a risky plan to retrieve his rifle. He ties a rope to a knife and throws it to hook the weapon, attempting to drag it back. Just when it seems like he might succeed, Koenig shoots the rope, cutting it with precision. Suddenly, German planes fly overhead, dropping bombs. The explosions shatter the glass roof above, and falling shards reveal Vasili's position to Koenig. Back at headquarters, Danilov tries to convince Tanya to stay out of combat, insisting her intellect is more valuable than her fighting skills. Their argument is interrupted when Vasili's injured partner returns, recounting what happened. Determined to help, Tanya sets off through the same dangerous pipe route to reach Vasili. When she arrives, Vasili quickly tells her to stop and follow his plan. Using a shard of glass, Vasili carefully observes Koenig's position through the reflection, just as Koenig is watching him. He instructs Tanya to pick up another shard and angle it to reflect sunlight directly into Koenig's eyes, temporarily blinding him. This distraction allows Vasili to retrieve his rifle and fire a shot, injuring Koenig's hand, but not killing him. Later, Vasili and Tanya return to headquarters and celebrate their survival with the other soldiers. That night, they find comfort in each other's arms, sharing an intimate moment under the covers in the communal sleeping area. The next morning, Vasili approaches Danilov, asking him to stop writing about him in the propaganda pieces. He feels overwhelmed by the weight of being portrayed as a hero and wants to fight as an ordinary soldier. Danilov refuses and manipulates Vasili by bringing in Sasha, a young boy who has been helping gather intelligence on Koenig. Beaming with pride, Sasha shows Vasili how much he admires him. Unable to let the boy down, Vasili agrees to let Sasha guide him to the spot where Koenig will be waiting. The ground is littered with lifeless bodies. Vasili hides among them, patiently waiting for Koenig to appear. But there's a problem. He waits so long that he falls asleep. When Koenig finally spots him from his own hiding place, he prepares to shoot. Suddenly, a looting soldier stumbles onto the scene, mistaking Vasili for dead. The soldier moves Vasili's body, stealing all his belongings with ease. The German army catches the thief and discovers Vasili's ID among the stolen items. They assume Vasili is dead. Koenig, however, isn't convinced, but his objections are dismissed. Refusing to leave while Vasili might still be alive, Koenig approaches Sasha again. He shares his next target location, suspecting Vasili might show up. Meanwhile, at the Russian headquarters, Khrushchev learns of the German propaganda declaring Vasili's death. Enraged, he lashes out at Danilov, who insists it can't be true. But Khrushchev doesn't care about the truth. He demands Danilov write something to calm the public and keep morale high. Danilov reluctantly agrees and later tries to convince Tanya to leave and stay at his house for safety. Their conversation is interrupted when loudspeakers announce Vasili's supposed death. Danilov begins drafting an official statement praising Vasili as a fallen hero, but then, to everyone's shock, Vasili walks in alive. He explains how he fell asleep and missed his shot, forcing him to hide from his hunter. Relieved, Danilov agrees to reassign him. Vasili then asks about Tanya, and Sasha reveals that he told her Vasili was alive. Determined to avenge Vasili, Tanya has gone to the train station to confront Koenig. Panicked, Vasili and Danilov rush to the station to save her. They find her, and in an emotional moment, Vasili and Tanya share a kiss. Danilov watches, consumed by jealousy. When he returns to headquarters, instead of reporting Vasili as a hero, he declares him a traitor to the world. Unbeknownst to them, Koenig had seen everything at the station. Realizing that Sasha has been leaking information to the Russians, Koenig captures the boy. In a cold act of cruelty, he hangs Sasha's body on a pole, using him as bait to lure Vasili into a deadly trap. Tanya nearly falls for the trap when she spots the body, but stops herself when Vasili warns her that it's exactly what Koenig wants. They come up with a plan. While Vasili goes after Koenig, Tanya turns to Danilov for help. Together, they visit Mrs. Filippov to convince her to leave the city with a special pass Danilov has secured. Mrs. Filippov initially refuses, unwilling to leave without her grandson, Sasha. To spare her from heartbreak, Tanya and Danilov lie, saying Sasha has joined the Germans. Mrs. Filippov reluctantly agrees to leave, believing it's for his safety. On their way to the boat, a bomb explodes nearby, injuring Tanya. Believing she's dead, Danilov abandons her. But Mrs. Filippov refuses to give up. She persuades a doctor to let Tanya board the boat by using her pass and claiming Tanya is her daughter. Meanwhile, Vasili and Koenig remain locked in a tense standoff, each hiding and waiting for the other to make a move. Unexpectedly, Danilov appears beside Vasili. With Tanya gone, he feels hopeless and sees no point in living. Consumed by guilt over fabricating stories about Vasili, he decides to atone by sacrificing himself. Danilov steps out of hiding, allowing Koenig to shoot him and reveal his position. Vasili, anticipating this, stays hidden and doesn't react immediately. Believing he's killed Vasili, Koenig steps out to confirm. That's when Vasili strikes. With his rifle aimed, Koenig accepts his fate, removes his hat, and waits. Vasili pulls the trigger, killing him. He leaves Koenig's rifle by Danilov's body as a mark of respect. 2 months later, with the Germans defeated, Vasili receives a letter from Tanya. She's alive and recovering in a field hospital. Once the city is safe enough to travel, Vasili rushes to her location, and the couple shares a joyful reunion. That is how the movie ends. Please subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like. It really helps the channel. Thank you for watching.